But how about the Lions? Well, they were blown out by the Jets at home on Monday night, but it appears a lot of their problems started in the offseason. NFL Network reports new head coach Matt Patricia's attempt to change the room and post them on social media. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Skip, it tells me that most people, regardless of the situation, are resistant to change. We see that in today's society. People like the status quo, especially if it's not upsetting of them. The Lions front office, they hired him knowing that he was going to implement these changes. Now, Jim Caldwell went to the playoffs. He was there 4 years. He went to the playoffs half the time. Normally, people, they would stick with that. Clearly, this was not about a winning situation. They wanted the culture change.
By the way, on your Caldwell point, he was really good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the records: 11-5, 9-7, 9-7, 7-9, but 2 playoffs. That'll work. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Obviously, that wasn't good enough for them.
But he's not Bob Quinn's guy, and Bob Quinn came from New England. Go ahead.
Right, and the thing is, and see, the players, they look at Coach Patricia, and when they hear him talk, I don't know if they feel as that's really him or that's Bill Belichick, because he's coming from the Patriots, and that happened with Josh McDaniels, Skip, even when he was in Denver. They just felt that was not him. He was trying to be something that he wasn't. And the thing is that these veteran guys, Coach Caldwell was way over here. They kind of liked it. Matt Patricia is way over here.
Way.
They don't like it.
Nope.
So you got to come to and if it's good, if it's going to help us win, I could never understand, Skip. I came in, Dan Reeves was my head coach. I couldn't understand why, if I had my helmet on, I had to have my chin strap button. What did that? I wasn't even in the game. I wasn't at practice at the time. How does that help me win? Or I couldn't sit on my helmet. That was going to help.
I know Dan Reeves very well, and he's about as old school.
Old school.
You know?
But see, Skip, every coach that I had after that was a piece of cake.
You were lucky that you didn't have Dan the whole time. I don't know if you would have lasted with
Well, I could have dealt with it, Skip, because I came in and got him when I was young.
Maybe.
It's the thing is that
But I think Mike, you got a blessing.
Oh, yeah, with the practice schedule.
Yeah.
But see, these veteran guys, they have Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
He was a certain type of way. Maybe he's a lot easier on the veteran players. Matt Patricia comes in and Coach Belichick's system, everybody gets treated the same.
Yep.
Vet, rookie, first year, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
This is the way I'm going to treat you.
Yep.
But the players need to understand there's a reason why Matt Patricia's here. Now, you might not agree with why he's here or how he got there, but you got to at least give him a chance. You got to try to buy into some of these principles. You might not like them all, but you got to give him a chance. Now, we heard some of this stuff bubble up in OTAs and in minicamp, Skip, and when you lose your home opener 48-17, chaos is going to break out. But I think they got to give him the benefit of the doubt. This is not nearly long enough. And I know, what does taking a picture in the locker room, posting on social media, Skip, how does that help me win or lose games? And see, that's what players need to see.
I mean, how does it help you win or lose debates?
Yeah.
Well, am I right?
I'm not posting.
I'm just asking.
How about Skip? Why you
You're
follow?
posting now too.
I'm not.
Why is he
posting
following me on
pictures of
Insta? Why you following me on Insta? IG. Why you
don't
bother
follow.
me? Yeah, you do.
I hear it from other people.
Yeah. Well, stay off my page.
Okay. I'm not on your. I follow nobody. Nobody
You
on
made that
Twitter.
clear.
Nobody
I'm
on
gonna block
Instagram.
you.
Zero.
But I believe, Skip, for me, and I know Matt Patricia is trying to do what he's doing, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I hold the players because the players got to understand he's doing what he thinks will give them the best opportunity to win games. And I don't think the players have been fair and open-minded enough to give him that opportunity.
Okay. So to your big picture point about let's not overreact just yet. They were 7-point home favorites over the Jets, and they lost 48-17. I cannot imagine a more nightmarish debut.
No.
Right?
Yes.
Now to my pet peeve before I get to my real point. But my pet peeve about NFL hiring is, help me out here. What qualifies an assistant coach who's never been a head coach, who's coached only under a great head coach, to suddenly become a great head coach elsewhere? What qualifies him? What experience does he have running a football team? How about zero? Unless he's been a head college coach somewhere, or maybe he's a failed head coach elsewhere in the league who's come as an assistant. But what qualified Matt Patricia to be the head coach of the Detroit Lions? Seriously, I ask you, look at his resume. he meant a lot to Coach Belichick. He sort of took him under his wing and all that. But still, Belichick's making all the tough defensive calls, all the game changers, all the lineup changes, anything that really mattered. Coach Belichick did it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So did Matt Patricia ever have a couple of weeks a year where Bill would say, "You run the whole show. You do the team meetings. You do."
I doubt it.
No, there just wouldn't happen. So he's not qualified to be a head coach. So all he knows is, I got to be Belichick. I got to do exactly what Bill did. I'm going to turn into Bill Belichick. You're not Bill Belichick.
No.
You don't have his personality. You don't have his edge.
Right.
You're actually kind of, you're seen in New England as the good cop.
Right.
You were the guy in the hall who actually spoke to people.
Right.
Belichick spoke to nobody. The players love Matt because Matty P, they call him Matt. James Harrison calls him Matty P, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's a player's coach, and all of a sudden he turned into somebody he is not.
Right.
So if we quickly look at the Belichick coaching tree, Charlie Weiss, I love it. We have him on the show occasionally. He's a good guy, but he had never been a head coach before, and he turned out not to be a very good head coach. Romeo Crennel is a great guy who turned out not to be a very good head coach. Josh McDaniels, I think as a coordinator, he's really good.
Really good.
But if you ask him to run the whole show and try to turn into Bill Belichick, what happened? Disaster happened, right?
Put it like this. They hated him more in Denver than they hate Matt Patricia in Detroit.
So far,
yes.
we'll see how that plays out.
But that's building, huh?
Our friend Eric Mangini. I love Eric, but again, what had qualified him to be a head coach, and he did have that one breakout first year with the Jets when they went 10-6. They made the playoffs and lost the first playoff game, but then his total coaching record in both, obviously, New York and Cleveland, 144 and 203. Not bad, but not great. And then Bill O'Brien. Has he been a real success in Houston? He's 31 and 34. They made the playoffs twice at 9-7 because of the division they got to play in. Am I right?
Correct.
So is he a great head? I don't know. And that brings us back to Matt Patricia. You can't. What happened? What was the worst thing that happened on Monday night? Matt Stafford happened.
Right.
He threw 4 interceptions.
Right.
Well, Tom Brady doesn't throw 4. He's had some 4 interception games, but he's not going to routinely throw 4 interceptions like that.
We've seen more of those games from Matt Stafford.
I'd say a whole lot more.
Yes.
So we're back to, what I think, and we're dug in on this, but you say he's leaving Bill Belichick. Well, I say he's also leaving Tom Brady.
Oh, no question.
Who is the leader of the team,
Yes.
and it's like a 1-2 punch. I think he's 1A to 1B, but whichever way, if you leave both of those guys, and don't underestimate the power of Tom Brady in the locker room and in the organization,
yes.
all of a sudden, again, I think Tom is the sun and Bill is the moon. The moon's not a bad thing, but it's not the sun. So the point is that it is the sun and the moon. Well, why would people keep going to that well and keep hiring a Belichick assistant? Because they're probably going to fail you. Probably.
Probably the best known example.
How long it took him to get there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
He was like 50-something when he finally got a head coach, and he was a bridesmaid as a hire. He kept finishing second.
And here's the thing. Guys, when you hire a Patriots assistant, you're not getting Belichick and you're not getting Tom Brady. So I know you're expecting those.
Maybe you should have been a player's coach. Maybe you should have gone soft on them where they would love you.
Skip, you can't go all the way. Because you look at Jim Caldwell's demeanor and you look at Matt Patricia's demeanor, you got to come to somewhere in the middle. And the players.
Well, in the end, you better be you or you're going to fail.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely. True. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
They can't look up there and think that's Coach Belichick's mouth moving, but they see your body. And that's what they try. So, Skip, they try that. But that's what they know, Skip. I mean, if you become a teacher, your most influential teacher, those are the techniques that you're going to use.
Yeah.
So that's what they trained up under. That's who they were groomed by. So naturally, they resort. Well, this is what Bill would have done. This is what Bill would have said. But at the end of the day, you got to be you, or the players are going to see it and like, nah, bro, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Got to be real to yourself. All right, and since we want to be real too, Skip, we're going to go back to the Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah,
you're tired of it?
Everyone's been criticizing them.
Maybe
sorry,
people will watch.
Even a Cowboys legend. Does Skip have any faith they can turn it around? We'll discuss next.